Hello!
Hello.
Many welcomes to you.
Many welcomes to you.
Okay, how was your day?
My day, it was, let's think. Okay, no, it wasn't that great, but it was. I woke up and I felt like shit. Um, I was really hungover. I was really hot. Someone turned the heating on to 75 in our house. So I
A
wake up
bit
like
too much.
in a pool of sweat, like, um, so thirsty because it's so hot and I'm so hungover. And it just took a while for me to get up. I was gonna go to a coffee shop and work, but the buses they weren't coming. It was in the rain. I had to get a Zoom recorder, which is like an audio like the thing that you like record audio with for one of my classes. And it's like this like big like nerdy ass like thing that you have to like it's like a strap, like you have to wear it on you. And I ran like I want to say like 2 blocks trying to catch a bus in the rain holding that and like it
Oh
was
my
just doing
God,
it.
that sounds like the trenches.
It was like the kind of thing that like if it was high school and someone saw me like that would be my reputation. Like it was that bad. It was rough.
Wow, wow. Well, I didn't get out of bed until 3 p.m., so
You know what? It's like support. I support it. I think we need a community.
we
It's so okay.
it's literally a Sunday.
It's so fine. It's so healthy.
Like, what was I gonna do?
It's restful.
Literally.
Did you sleep that late or did you just not get out of bed?
I slept until 1 or 2.
Also fine.
Yeah.
When I tell people I'll sleep till 2 if I don't set an alarm, they're like, "What?" And I'm like, I literally don't know what to say that like
Sleep is my natural
sorry I'm
state of
young.
being.
Like I'm young and I don't have like a person biological clock. Like
Literally.
so I
Sorry, but
like
I'm just like
have
young
fun.
and like fresh and like I don't know.
Exactly.
Like my brain does a lot of things when I sleep. I have crazy
No, literally,
dreams.
I have crazy journeys every single night.
Literally, last night I had a dream where somehow I didn't know that I actually had a second gecko in the tank with strawberry and I named it Ale, like beer, like ale, which I don't like. And then Ale attacked strawberry and she lost her tail.
Ale lost her tail. Or
No,
the
strawberry lost her tail to Ale.
Ale got the tail.
Ale got the tail.
Um,
Exactly. I didn't like that dream. It
no, I
actually
wouldn't have
really
liked that.
disturbed me. I have so many dreams about Strawberry, and I don't know. I guess it's just because like she consumes so much of my waking mind that it makes sense that I have so many dreams about her, but I would like them to stop.
Yeah, that is really scary. She
Yeah.
probably like represents um like motherhood.
Yeah, my motherhood.
Yeah.
I'm a mother.
And your mother, she's your maternal um I don't even know the word.
My surrogate. I don't know.
No, the like some like really like pseudoscientific like beauty thing. Like you people are
Or
like you're feminine, you're masculine, but there's like a certain like word for what they use. They're not it's like your feminine side, but it's like your feminine angle. It's like one of those words that's like you just made that up. Like the feminine department, but it's like sexier than department. It's like
my feminine department. That sounds like a word for box.
the yeah for Snatch. Snatch is my favorite.
It's so true. Like it really just
It really
like
is. Speaking of cis snatched, actually, for every single
spoilers.
for every single one.
Okay, the
No,
goblin.
like the theme.
I mean, I just like threw it in there. I don't know how I feel about it.
I love it. I think it's it really like reminds me of like my dad's like screensaver or something like that.
I really like the geometric patterns over here. I think the color, like, it's really giving like May December arrival, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Like if they were a color,
Combine them all.
it'd definitely be this one.
It would come out to this color.
Okay, next. Okay, May, December.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it because let's get into it.
Let's get into it. What are your, let's give our like our summary and review and rate, and then we can get into it.
Well, that's a lot of things. My summary, review, and rate is that this was what would be playing at the AMC in Gag City as soon as you walk in because I loved it. I really loved it. But it's not like I loved it in the way that I love a lot of movies. It's more like I love thinking about it and like the artistry behind it, but it's not like the story, I don't know. It's not like I was having so much fun watching it, if that makes sense. Well, I was. I let a lot of wins, so but I really liked it.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I really liked it. I it's like a weird like I did really like it. I'll start off and say I really liked it. By the way, I liked it. I thought it was really well done. I thought acting, obviously, like we don't even to say it, like incredible. Like I thought that was like its strongest part. And like while I was watching, well, like like I wasn't enjoying it because like it was like uncomfortable, but like obviously, but like I was like, oh, this is a really good movie. But for some reason, it like doesn't stay with me. It didn't stay with me. It was weird. I expected it to. I was like, wow, I was so into it while it was happening, but then like it like didn't have a big effect on me. And I don't
Hmm.
know, maybe it's like I'd have to watch it again. But it was like it's like the kind of movie that you that like does like it's a thinker, and it's more like I like really appreciate it, but the chemistry wasn't there between her and me
Interesting.
after a week later.
I understand that. Like I've had that experience with movies before. Not this one though. This one
Mhm.
did stay with me, and but I didn't realize how much it had stayed with me until Ryan got in the group chat and was like, "I just watched like the most boring movie ever, and it was May December," and I got like personally offended. And I was
Yeah.
actually like writing an essay, like
No, I had to like ride so hard. All of a sudden I was the biggest May December fan. Okay, everything he was
literally.
saying was not what I did not agree with anything he said.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but I think he like wasn't expecting what it was. Like he didn't know like I knew what it was gonna be going into it because I'd like heard about it a while before and like had read a lot of like tweets about it and like letterbox stuff. So like I had known what I was getting into. So I don't know how I would have felt like if I didn't know.
I thought that, and it was like kind of set up this way that there was like something really crazy
Yeah.
was gonna happen. So I think like the maybe like the most interesting thing like in I like in my watching experience was having that expectation and being like sort of no well, I knew the premise of it. Um and being like ending the movie and nothing crazy happening and being like, that's it. And like almost like not being like disturbed by it because I was like, well, it's gonna get so much worse. And being like, I don't know, like not that I at any point was ever like, oh, this is fine, but like with the expectation that like more information was gonna come out, like it was gonna get more fucked up. I was so like, and I think this is like a really interesting effect, and it's probably like in like intentional of being like, I want it to get weirder, like this is gross, but like I want it to get more and more, and then just being like, oh, that was it. But then I'm like, oh no, that was it. Like that was so much.
Yeah. I get that perspective. I do think it's intentional. Like I think it's like since it is commentary on like sensationality, commentary on sensationalism of real people's
The
stories.
gaslighting of the moment of female rage.
A goth punk
Yeah. The goth punk reconciliation with modern notions of the gaslightery of the female rage.
of the social systems of female rage.
of the
Um,
biker.
no, but it's like because it's supposed to be, since it is based on like a real news event, it's supposed to be
Mhm.
like you're put in the position of like the audience member, and like throughout that, like while you're watching it, you just feel like that's a passive role, but then you're like through all these like campy elements, as people like to say, of like the music and like all that stuff.
The
Like
hot
when
tub.
she has the hot dog line.
That was like that's a moment that did stick with me. I think about that like every
That was awesome. Like stuff like that, how it's like portrayed, it like tricks you into thinking it's going to be so much more dramatic, but then
Mhm.
it just like has like a very real like human ending where he just like watches his kids graduate and he's crying, and like then Natalie Portman goes on to make like a D-list movie. Like it like trend like it climaxes into nothing
Yeah,
basically, but it's like you as an audience member like wanted something more to
yeah.
happen. Just like in real life, you might look into that news story and be like, want it to be more sensational than it is, but like in the end, like he was just like a victim, and like it should be about that. I don't know how to
No, I agree. I think it was
explain
done
it.
really well.
Okay.
Also, I think like another thing that like I thought it did really well was like at no point could I tell if these people were like normal or not. Like obviously Gracie is like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Other one, like it was that was so stressful
Yeah.
of being like, are you a weirdo or are you not? And like, I mean, obviously they're
Are you a
all
freak?
to some extent like traumatized, but like beyond like being because that's not what makes someone a freak, like being traumatized, like is more just like the way they're like her son, um,
Georgie.
Georgie was like, I was like, I can't, are you insane or like the most sane person ever? And
Yeah.
like her kids that she had with Joe were so like, I was like, you guys are so normal given everything, but you're also so not. You're so weird. And Joe too, like kept going back and forth between like, you're just a regular guy who has been traumatized and like your whole life like you've been victimized by this woman and then being like no there's something so deeply unsettling about him and Natalie Portman too like or Elizabeth like it was just such like an unsettling like because they were none of them were so extremely
Yeah.
weird
I
except for
agree.
Tracy
Yeah.
was she
I
gets
mean,
that.
yeah, Gracie definitely like has the most outwardly like weird mannerisms, but also at the same time, like if I was someone who like lived in Savannah and like knew her as a person, I'm like, well, maybe I would see her as like a normal like figure in the community, just like so many of her like friends and the people in her town act towards her. Like, I wonder if I would act the same way. I mean, probably not if I knew the news story, but like, who knows? And then Natalie Portman's character, like you see the story through her eyes at first, and you're like, oh, she's just like an actress, like trying to get in like the method acting, like get all this information. Like you kind of have an innocent view of her at first, but then like as more stuff gets revealed, you're kind of like, why is she like going to the pet shop and like going to the storage room and like pretending she's having sex with like that person? Like, why is she watching like 13-year-old audition clips and like calling her director and being like, they're not
Oh
sexy
my
enough?
god,
Like, why does she go into that high school and like talk about sex scenes in such depth with
that
like
was
characters? Like,
uh
it was getting weird.
she was weird but I
Yeah,
like that she didn't go all the way.
yeah,
Like I like that it kind of stopped at a certain point.
I agree.
And like I was like it could have done the like she goes full method and like becomes her, but that's been done so many times that it's like I'm happy it didn't.
Yeah. I just think Natalie Portman is like so good at portraying like the tortured artist trope.
Yeah,
Like
no,
this
that's
and
her
Black
niche.
Swan, like it's so, I think she's so good at
She's
that.
so good at like killing herself for the craft.
Yeah, it's so good.
And that's like my favorite kind of movie is like kill
Yeah,
yourself for the craft.
I know, same. Um, but I thought Charles Melton was also really good at portraying like a 13-year-old boy stuck in like a 36-year-old man.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like
He
that was
was
crazy.
so, oh, he made me like cry
I know, seriously. I just
every
like
time
felt
I like saw
so bad
him.
for him.
When
Like,
he was on the roof, that scene, like I was sick to my
no,
fucking stomach.
I was so upset about it. Cause at first, like the scene kind of seems funny because it's like, oh, he's like getting too high, like lol, like LOL. But then you're like, wait, he's like never. First of all, it's sad because he's never done that before because he didn't have like a normal teenage like adolescence. So like that was already a layer of sadness. But then also like the way that he's just like is trying to have this moment with his son and it's like so sad and the way that he like delivers it is so so good.
Oh my God, what was the line that it was like, I know I'm creating like a really big memory for you. I hope it's gonna be like a good one, not a bad one. That was paraphrased so badly, but he was like,
I
yeah,
can't
like
tell if I'm connecting with you or creating a bad
creating a
memory
bad
with you.
memory.
Yeah.
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 And it's so like that line just got me because like that is such like a
True thing.
childish thing to say.
Yeah.
Like that just like felt like something I'd say when I was 13 of being
Yeah.
like, I know you hate me. Like, and it's just like so many of the things he said, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so adolescent. And it was like, ugh.
Yeah. I feel like it was so adolescent, but at the same time, like it was coming from like a very like true, like
Yeah.
fatherly place. Like you can tell that he actually like really cares about his kids so much. And he's
Yeah.
like such a protector of things. And then like the way that he cares for the butterflies and like he it was mentioned that he like took care of his little sisters, like all this stuff. Like he's just like a nurturing person, which like makes it even sadder, like the things that have happened to him. And I was looking into like who this is based on, Mary Kay Letourneau and Billy Falau. And Billy was one of 18 kids because his dad got married 5 times. And so he just had like a ton of siblings. And I just think that's like really interesting because they didn't do exactly that in the movie, but I do think it's like I don't know. I it's just so sad. But in real life, um Villy like divorced her and then she died of cancer, so like happy ending. But yeah. Anyways.
I am like interested though, because like, I mean, yeah, in a lot of ways it is the movie like isn't so super like tied to reality, but like I'm really curious why Gracie seemed to have like no sense of remorse, because that's like really not something like,
Well, I think it is pretty true to the case. Like
yeah, that's what I figured.
because like they stayed together for so long and like in order to do that, like you have to not even like go to the place of like, well, I victimized him and like it was bad what I did because you're literally still with them. So it's like,
Yeah.
how do you justify that?
And I mean, she's been like telling herself it for years, but it doesn't even seem like she's telling herself it. It seems so
Yeah.
genuine, and it's so. I'm like, actually, did you get like dropped on your head as a baby? Like what? Like it's
Yeah.
not so. She's not a sociopath because that's different, but it's like something like that where it's
Yeah.
like you just don't feel remorse
Yeah. It's crazy.
or like any shame. It's like lobotomy. Like she's so lobotomized.
Yeah. True. And then let's see, there was this scene with the fox in the woods, and like you couldn't tell if she was gonna kill it or like kill herself or like kill the dogs. Like I had no idea what was
Yeah,
gonna
I know
happen.
what's
Kill
happening.
Natalie, like I don't know. But then like nothing happens, and I think she doesn't even kill the fox, is what I think.
I think
And
she kills the quails.
yeah, yeah, probably. Wait, does she or am I misremembering?
I thought she came back with like dead quails.
Oh, maybe. I
Like
don't remember.
she likes to shoot the quails and cook them.
Well, yeah, she did
I
before the
thought, I don't know.
movie.
I thought I remember her carrying like dead quails, but
Maybe. I'd have to rewatch. Um, But yeah, I think that's interesting, especially because like foxes are symbolic of like tricksters and like manipulators and like s seductresses, which is kind of like what Gracie is, but also kind of what Elizabeth is. So I like I don't know if the fox symbolizes her or symbolizes Elizabeth or symbolizes them both. Thoughts?
I mean, when you said seductress, I like the first thing I thought of was when she was like, "No, he seduced me,"
Yeah,
and like, yeah,
he's
I
the
don't know
boss.
what.
He's the boss.
Yeah,
It's such a weird thing to say.
I know. It was so. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I did read something about the fox. What does the no?
What does the
I
fox
started
say?
singing that, and I was like, I can't even like. I didn't even, I can't get into that right now. Ugh.
Well, the very end with the reveal that it's like a D-list movie that she's producing or that she's starring in is was really funny.
Yeah, everyone picked up on that. Okay, I literally was like, first of all, like I'm gonna expose two things: the security footage thing.
Let's talk about the allegations that that was
Let's
a security
let's
camera.
clear the air. Let's clear. Remember when like 5 months ago, and I was like, I have to clear the air, but I forget why. This is why I pulled an arrival. I, I saw the future, and I knew it was this moment. So I basically I was watching it with my friends, and they kept talking about the tapes, the tapes, the tapes. I didn't know what tapes these were. And then she watches the tapes. I caught the last 5 seconds, and I didn't see multiple angles. I saw one still angle of her like with the guy at the pet store. And yeah, the lighting was not what security footage lighting would be, but like in my defense, like pet store lighting can really like you don't know how good the security footage is gonna be. Like if the lighting is nice, it's gonna pick up on that. And I was like, oh wait, what is she watching? And my friend goes, security footage. So that was the first allegation. I thought they had security footage of it, and that's how people, well, I know people walked in. Second allegation, I did not realize it was a D-list movie because I mean, like if I see Natalie Portman in front of the camera, I'm like, oh, this is cinema. And like
That's so fair.
the wig, I can never tell when anyone's because you I was like, how can you tell it's a bad movie? Like, and you're like, oh well, like one thing is the wig is cheap, and I like honestly, like I don't even know when people are wearing wigs. So like best believe I cannot tell the quality of
You don't see wig.
I do not see wig. I'm not um yeah, I'm not a
That's
wig
okay.
experience. It is okay. It's like I feel like such a man that I can't tell a
Oh,
wig.
the wig. Okay.
Um wig. And
Wig.
I mean like yeah, she gave up after or like they were ready to close after like a few shots, but I guess I didn't hear them say take one. I thought this was like they were at the end of it. And I was like, I
Oh,
mean,
that's fair.
it seems like they're acting it pretty well.
Yeah. I think it's impossible for Natalie Portman to act something poorly. Also, the monologue that she gives
Oh,
of reading the letter is just like so incredible that like you do think she's going for like an Oscar-worthy movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah, that's all I have to say.
That's all I do
Like
as well.
reminded me of Tar's ending kinda.
Yeah, you did say that. I could totally see that. It kind of all it definitely had like a Tar feel
Yeah.
of discomfort
Yeah.
where it was always like it just feels like something horrible is gonna happen all the time, and then it never really like does. Like that was like Tar for me.
Hmm.
Ah, hi. Okay. When did you, because I didn't know that you'd seen it, but when did you see it? And what was that
I
like for
saw it.
you?
What?
I said, when did you see it and what was that like for you?
I either saw it in September or May.
Oh, so this was recent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me look in my
I don't
letterbox.
know why that I sounded so betrayed by that. Were you looking? Oh, it's recent. So you're not a real Arrival head.
Oh yeah, September.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Fresh on
I'm not
both
a
of
real Arrival head. I just watched
Yeah, I'm
it.
not either.
And you watched this like a week ago?
Yeah. I actually watched it in two installments, which was not
Okay, I did that
ideal.
too.
Whoa. But it's what happened.
Yeah. Um, so go ahead, give your summary rate review.
Loved it. I knew I was gonna like it. I remember I saw the trailer when it came out and like my parents had seen it and the the spaceships, if you will, that they travel in, like that they made me so sick to my stomach. I love um an alien movie and like um what is like apocalypsey kind of movies, but they also terrify me. Like, well, I knew we've talked about Melancholia before, and I know you're not a fan. And like I am a huge fan, but I also am such a huge fan because the idea of the world ending, like that's enough for me. Like I like any movie that's that, but I'm also so deeply terrified about any movie that's that premise. But I loved Arrival so much. I love when it's an alien movie, but it's so visually like interesting and like original. And this is like one of the most like original depictions I've ever seen of alien life. And it was just such a beautiful movie
I
in
agree.
all senses of the word, like tens all around, except I didn't give it a 10, but in my heart, tens all around. I do wish
Yeah.
I saw it in one go because it was a little confusing.
Mm.
Because I watched half of it and then a few days later I watched the rest of it and like it did kind of like take me out because I was like had to think about like I couldn't really remember some things, but that's my fault. It's not the movie's fault.
Yeah. I absolutely love this movie. I like from start to finish, jaw on the floor. Like it's so
Mhm.
gorgeous. It's so, like you said, original. Like the language system of the aliens was
Oh,
freaking
it's so beautiful.
crazy. Like what? And just the fact that like she's able to figure it out is like even crazier. It's just like levels of mind that like I will never reach. Like it was crazy. Um, the relationship between her and Renner, like it had such good chemistry. I was like really rooting for them. The story with her daughter, obviously, like I actually sobbed like face down into my couch watching this movie because of how like heartbreaking it was in the end. Um, just everything. It was everything.
Oh my God, it was everything. Yeah, that's really true what you say about like her and Jeremy Renner. I did not know his name. I also didn't know. Ooh, this is okay. I'm gonna say this actress's name confidently. It's Amy Adams.
Yeah,
I she got on she got on the screen and I was like, this is someone who I never know. And it's Amy Adams. And I'm learning. I'm literally listening and learning. This is Amy Adams. This is when I hear the words Amy Adams, I'm gonna think of her now. It's there. It's locked in. Anyways, I like one thing a, a criticism that I like often disagree with is when people are like, why they have to put like a romance in this. It didn't need that. And like I often disagree with this because love is everything and human relationships are like the most important thing ever all the time. And so it's like why like romance is there something stupid or like I don't know.
that's so true. That's
I'm
exactly
always
how I
pro
feel
putting a
too.
romance plot in
Yeah,
it because like love is literally everything.
literally.
And I loved this one because like it's like one of those like sci-fi movies that's so about like human connection. It really reminded me a lot of Interstellar, not like in any sense other than the fact that Interstellar was another like time travel movie about love. But like that it was so like focused on the humanness because it's like they're aliens and it's like aliens and humans and like just like when you said like oh they had really good chemistry like that just made me think I was like why did it work so well and it was like they really weren't like they were on screen together a lot but like really not but it was such a convincing like in all it could have been so undeveloped but it was so perfectly developed like their plot, which was like wow, like it was a short movie. It was like an hour and a half. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have to think of like the scenes that like jumped out to me the most. Well, obviously like the one towards the end when she's like in the room just with the one alien because the other one died. Like, first of all, that was heartbreaking. Second of all,
Their
that scene,
names like Albatross and Remix or something.
Abbott and Costello.
Yeah. Yeah, Albatross and Remix.
Oh my God, yeah. That scene was so incredible. And like I think my mom had like watched it when it came out. So when did this come out? Like 2016 or something?
2016.
Like a while ago. So I wasn't like fully conscious. But I think I had known like the twist is that like all the like time sequences are like out of order. So like towards the middle, I had like understood that Hannah, her daughter, is like born way after all this stuff. Um, but that twist is like so incredible. And then the twist where she's like talking to the Chinese prime,
Mhm.
what's his name? President or prime
The
minister?
General
The general. And she like says his wife's last words, like gagged,
gagged
absolutely gagged. Like
severely.
that was crazy.
I just love time travel
Me too.
and it's always gonna get me.
Yeah.
I love when they do it in a really like good way.
And I love how they're like, the heptapods are giving humanity a gift so that in 3,000 years, when we're facing extinctions, humanity will help us. Like, that was crazy. That was so good.
It was
Yeah.
um just no words. It's just so gagging. Like that you watch this movie and you think she's a grieving mother, and then like everything you think about her character is like completely flipped on its head. Like, oh my God, they flipped me.
They flipped
And,
me. They flipped me right
and when she says like, "Oh, I knew how it was gonna happen. I embraced every minute of it." Oh, that's
that was so like I was sobbing
I
so hard.
people
Like
died.
people died.
People died. Yeah, have you read Slaughterhouse-Five?
No.
It was really similar to there are aliens in that are also like four-dimensional and they see time all at the same. They're like, we see time like the mountains, where the way that humans like they're like humans imagine like humans see time like they're what are those things where you like a telescope but like they have it at like a national park where you like put a
Yeah.
quarter in and like humans essentially have their heads glued to that and can only look at one spot but we can move around and look at time the way that humans look at mountains and like it just reminded me of that because
Yeah.
it was like there it's all there's no past there's no present like it is all what we were just trapped in a moment like
Yeah.
it is what it is and like love is okay everything.
And like love, it's literally love is everything.
Oh my
It's like no matter like the ending, like it's the journey. Like
god.
it's all about the journey.
Oh my god.
They really said that, but like in the best way possible, like in the most
What did
meaningful.
they say? What was the line?
Well, no, just the line that you were saying, like
Oh yeah.
I knew
Yeah,
how it
yeah.
was gonna end
Like
up,
I embraced every minute of it.
and how she's like, Hannah, your name is a palindrome. It goes
Yeah.
from beginning to end. Like I was gagged.
Oh chill. Wait, I
Chills,
check them
chills.
out. You can't see that.
Which, funnily enough, is also the name of our next guest.
Whoa. Yeah, is she? Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She's with H.
Yep.
Okay.
Not all have it with the H.
Yeah, not why would you ever do Hannah without the H? Like, why would you
Well,
deprive your child of a palindrome?
Hannah from camp, she spells it without an H because her name is Helen Anna.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Crazy lore.
Well,
Yeah.
then
Okay,
that's
anyway, speaking of Hannah's, what else do you have to say about Arrival?
literally nothing. I'm speechless. Literally, like I language evades me.
Like, true. And that's like what the story's about too.
Yeah. Ugh,
Yeah.
I want to read that book.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we'll stop
I
this.
want it tattooed on me.
What?
I want one of those circles tattooed on me.
That's such a, but then it'll just look like a coffee stain.
Coffee stain, bitch. What? Like when you
Bitch.
pick up, bitch. What? Um, bitch.
Look at,
What? Like when you. Ooh, let me just take the phrase we just said and say it 3 times, a little more aggressively each time. I love language.
but like that is humor.
That is humor.
That is humor.
Humor's
That's
everything.
comedy.
You have to laugh. Like you mean like when you move a cup of coffee and it
Yeah.
gets I like that wasn't where my mind went, so that might just be you.
Oh. Well,
That's
no, because
literally only you. What the fuck?
people get the like coffee tattoo.
They get like a coffee line. That's
Yeah, that's
different.
what I mean.
Yeah, but that's like usually like a hair tie. Like they get it like that, I think.
No, they do not.
I met someone who did.
Okay.
All these people.
I've never met her,
There's
so
so
like I
many
don't know.
you actually have met this person. Um, but I'm not gonna tell you who. Um, like when you're drinking coffee and it stays still for a while and then you take a sip and then there's a line where it was before you took a
Yeah.
sip. That's what she has.
Okay. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about like when your mug is on the table and then you move
Yeah. And I
it.
knew that because I already established that. So obviously I no, I just think it's funny.
I'm looking this up right now.
That's what it's I mean. I meant like oh, fuck. I just can't with how mean that sounded. I was laughing because like I already asked. I was like, "Oh, you mean when you move the cup?" So obviously I knew it wasn't the line. I just wanted to be different.
Wait, what? Coffee stain tattoo. That's really what I'm thinking of. Okay, here we go. Let me share screen.
Go do some fancy work.
Because look at this. You see it?
Oh my God, it looks just like it. It's so stupid. Why would they
I
do that?
know.
It looks gross at first. Yeah, it looks gross as I continue looking.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe get the
No,
shit.
it'd be different.
It
Get the
would be
shit, just a big egg. I also, this is like another one of those moments of like, I didn't realize she was eating corn in this scene, but like, I didn't realize the spaceships were like normal flying saucers on their side. Because when
hmm
they left at the end, I was like, whoa, it literally is a disc. Like, it's all about perspective.
It
Like,
literally
had I
is.
been watching like this, I wouldn't even have noticed anything.
Yeah. Okay. See you in 5 seconds.
Catch it on the flip.
Hey.
Hey. And you know what's so funny? Why I was really asking about the palindrome spelling is I thought Hannah Livingston was jumping on this whole time.
Really?
Wow.
Oh my
Huh?
God, no.
Because she is not an H, right?
She is not an
He's like,
H.
I'm not going to tell you you're wrong about your friend, but I think you might be wrong about your friend. But you're right. Oh my God, Hannah with an H. Wow.
Hey guys, thanks
Hey.
for having me on. I don't know,
Of
I have
course.
my Katniss braid in. I don't know if you
Oh
guys
my
know.
God.
Icon. Icon.
Yeah, severely.
Okay, so we're here to discuss the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which some of you might know as the Ballad of Grace and Ella,
I know about that.
because you are a snake.
Oh,
Wait, are you guys more songbird or snake? Let's talk about it.
Um, I think I'm more songbird because I love to sing.
this is so difficult. I too love to sing, but I'm not good at it. But that doesn't mean there's not like a song in my heart.
You
Of
So
might
course.
still be a songbird.
I probably am a songbird, honestly.
I I think I'm probably more songbird. I don't
Okay.
really feel like a snake. I don't
Yeah.
slither. I'm not. That's not me.
Ella, how did you deal with your snake phobia while watching this?
It was hard. I took deep breaths. I knew it was coming because like I had read most of the book and I they were so like theatrical and um like not realistic that it was like fine. I mean, usually it's like the slither movement that like I'm not a fan of. There were scenes when they released them in the arena that I my eyes were shut for most
No,
of
that
it.
was disgusting. When it like created a wave that like traveled over okay, first of all, I know
Shut
me and Hannah
up.
we're talking a lot about that death of the girl with Down syndrome, Wovie.
Oh
How the
my.
snakes just fucking like
Yeah, they
That was
rocked
not okay.
it.
they did not need to do that. But in the books, it's also fucked up because in the books, like, Lucy Gray accidentally kills her with the water, like the way that she kills the other Dill.
Hmm.
Um, so it's also fucked up in the books. But in the books, she doesn't have, it's never mentioned that, like, she has Down syndrome, like, but she is, like, very young. She's a 13-year-old tribute, I think, which is the same in the movie. And so it's like really fucked up in the book too, but in a different way. But I think that they like tried to do that in the movie, like make her death less fucked up, but somehow I feel like it's more fucked up.
It was. I felt like it was fucked up because it felt like such like a comedic like slapstick moment to me. Like
Yeah.
she literally
Yeah,
like
no, it was
it was so sad, and she was like, "Is it over?" And like, it was like so fucked up. But it got a laugh out of me and Grace for sure, for
Would you
sure.
guys see it together?
We
Oh, that's
did.
so fun.
Yeah.
My theater was really fucking annoying. Well, not the theater actually, just like five people behind me. Like it was Cackle City the the whole time. Like everything that like Caesar Flickerman Jr., I guess like senior said, um, got such a laugh out of them. And I was like, he's not that funny, girl. And then like every time someone died, it was Cackle City behind me. I was like, you need to stop.
Wait, I
Then
hate that.
I
That would
hate
have
when people. That's such a pet peeve of mine. When
Wait,
people,
even
I'm
like
like,
when that girl Mercy killed the dude that was strung up in the arena.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They not yeah, like yeah, I hate when people laugh at people dying because it's like I
it's
mean
like where's the
sometimes
humanity?
where's the humanity? It's literally all about love. Um
That's true.
no, when people laugh at people like screaming because it's like it's like gonna be made it like there I feel like okay, like the Breaking Bad, like when he falls to his knees scene, that's like such a meme. But like seeing that in context, I was like, there's nothing like funny about it. And I feel like it's like weird when people already like in context are like, let me memify this. Cause I'm
Oh, that's such a good
like,
point.
are you, do you have empathy? Like, what? Like, I'm scared.
Yeah, that's so true. But maybe that's just commentary on how the people in Panem view the Hunger Games and how they find entertainment in it, and like we as an audience are also just like part of that.
Wow.
Wait, what if the Hunger Games is a commentary on society? No.
I don't know. That's
No,
kind
I
of
don't think so.
that's kind of a
I don't
reach.
know about that one. Sorry guys. Sorry.
Yeah, that one didn't
I don't
land.
know. Maybe you shouldn't have come on today.
Ooh,
Oh,
Oof.
dear stars.
Well, I won't be back, that's for fucking sure. Okay. This is something I want to throw out before we talk about anything else.
Say it.
I got so mad when they went swimming, like Snow and Rachel Zegler and the Covey, when they all went swimming and she came out in that fucking airy swimsuit. Don't get me.
No.
I got so mad.
Oh
I got
why
my
is that
god.
so. I was watching like a video today and she showed up again. I was like, I can't. It made me so pissed off. Me and Grace also talked about this. The costumes, like,
Not good.
fabric looked cheap and modern, and I didn't like it.
It looked like a goddamn Urban Outfitters commercial. Like, what was that one? The one like lesbian,
Yeah, oh,
Cyclops. What the fuck is her name?
Coral.
Coral was wearing like she was literally wearing she was like in the liberal arts fit. Like she was wearing like cut off like mom jeans and like a striped t-shirt and like a corduroy jacket. And I was like, what do you like where's the potato sacks? Like hello? Like
The cut and the piercings. I was like,
the
these are the kind of
piercing.
girls I match with on Tinder. Like,
He is munching beaver at Oberlin right now.
She's munching beaver.
Like, the fucking piercings were crazy.
that was insane.
And like the turf ass bangs. Like I get like
You know, she loves J.K. Rowling.
that that took me out of the movie so
no it
hard.
did.
So hard.
And
There
his,
were definitely
him
a
at the
lot of
end
elements that were like,
like
oh,
Jean. Oh sorry.
Oh.
I was just saying another fit comment was his
Oh,
like,
yeah.
white t-shirt, like cargo pants, like
My
come on.
Okay, but I can't be mad at that because he looked really hot in that.
He did, but I was like not the Uniqlo, like
You gave me gender
the
envy. Though.
Uniqlo heat.
Like in the beginning of the movie, I was like gender envy for sure. For sure.
He's
Cool.
like, oh my god. He's everything.
Yeah, he was great. He was a great
Yeah.
actor.
Mm-hmm. He was really
I
good.
bet-
He was-
I
he
bet
was really good.
anything in my life that he's British.
I think he is, yeah.
I don't know.
I
just
think.
vibe from
But is
him.
his name like Tom Blythe?
Yeah.
Let's get into it. I think he's not.
I think
Just
he
to
is.
be the descent.
Grace, what do you think?
I think he is. I feel like I've seen an interview where
Is he British?
He is British.
Oh my God. I just got such a vibe from him that he's British. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I
that
feel like
bar.
every YA movie, book, movie, I guess, has to have a British actor.
Yeah.
That's
One.
very true.
At least one.
It's very true.
Or Australian, like Gail.
Oh, that's right. He's Australian. I was gonna say Josh Hutcherson, but he's not. He's not British.
He's just 5'6".
Yeah, I was just gonna say he's just short. He's not British, he's just short.
He's just short and stocky.
Okay. What was I about to say? Oh, Peter Dinklage and Viola Davis were eating, and Jason.
I know their backs hurt because they carried it. So
Well, I think all the actors in it were good, except, and this is controversial, and let me say this. She is literally fantastic singer. I think she was even like well cast in the role because like when I was reading the book, like the way that okay, Rachel Zegler, I feel like some of her acting was leaving a much to be desired, just in comparison to the way that like Jennifer Lawrence literally like the way that she brought her fucking bow and arrow like to that entire movie franchise was insane. The way that Jennifer Lawrence acted, and then Rachel Zegler was just like her accent was giving MHS Oklahoma. Like it was just it wasn't quite there for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I agree. Jennifer Lawrence kind of like breathed life into Katniss Everdeen and like really made her like the character that she was. And I was thinking about that today too. I was watching a video on it, just like the movie and like the book and whatever, and I was just thinking how like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I'm
I do
losing my train of thought, but yeah, I agree with you.
But I don't know, like, how else you would act that role because it is so, like, it's larger than life, like, theatrical, like, charming, charismatic, like, all these things on top of just, like, being a normal person, like, thrown into this, like, horrible situation. Like, it would be a very, very challenging role. But I just think, like, she could have been directed a little bit better, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's a hard role because, well, I mean, I think it's so funny is like how Lucy Gray's character is like her charm. Like that's like her asset is her charm. But like even in the book, I was like, man, they're doing her dirty. She's annoying. Like she's underdeveloped. Like she's not charming me. And like Katniss's whole thing was like she was like really cold and like antisocial and like unlikable. And the whole project was like, let's make Katniss likable. And like she was like I love her. Like that's literally my sister. But like it was so reversed. And I don't know if it is like if it's like Suzanne Collins's fault, or like if she wrote her exact, like, I don't know, I can't tell, like, because she's not meant to be annoying, but like, she just so is, but I can't tell if she really is underdeveloped or if I just don't like her character. It's hard to say, but
Yeah.
she's not like iconic to me
Hmm.
the way that Katniss is, but like her whole thing is that she is an icon. So it's like,
Well, to be fair, she isn't the main character. Like, it's from Snow's perspective. So, like, Snow has, like, a really warped view of her. So it kind of makes sense that she doesn't make sense. Because, like, it's being told from the perspective of someone who's, like, literally becoming a sociopath in real time. Like, so I guess it does make sense. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's
that is
not Rachel Zegler's fault.
I need to try out that book. I haven't read it.
Okay, yeah, I have read it, and Ella, you had read like part of it before you.
I got it to I read to the third part, so like right when he like became a peacekeeper
Mm.
was when I stopped
I
before
was
I
not
stopped.
expecting that. This is a long movie.
It was a
The
long.
game's over, and they're like, "All right, next." I was like, "What?
I know.
More?"
No, yeah, when I finished the games in the book and saw 200 pages left, I was like, ugh, I don't know. I don't think I'm not gonna finish it.
Mm. That's fair. I liked the third part of the book though. Like I thought it was good. But also like it definitely did feel very long, especially if you like go into it expecting it to be like structured the way that like Hunger Games and Catching Fire is. Like they end the games and then there's like 5-10 minutes left of the movie.
That's
Like
what I was expecting.
yeah, I think I would understand like thinking that if I hadn't read it, but yeah. But I like the Peacekeeper part because he has a shaved head and he looks gorgeous.
I know. Ugh, I want to shave my
I
head.
the buzz didn't we didn't connect. Me and
That's
the
fine.
buzz.
Oh. Oh.
I mean, he had no choice because it was. But if he did have a choice, I hope that wouldn't be the choice he'd make because he didn't have the head shape for it, to me personally. I think long hair suits him very well.
I
Where
agree. It
Buzz makes
does.
him look like Roblox, kind of. Or
Um,
Lego.
so we're gonna have to agree to disagree on
And
this one,
and that's okay, and I'm
and that's okay.
okay with that, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Um, I think that Rachel Zegler and Tom Blythe had insane chemistry because there was nothing in the text of the script, and I don't know, I haven't read the books, maybe in the book, that would suggest that they are or should be attracted to each other. Because I don't know when or where it happens, but they have fantastic chemistry.
Yeah.
I think if they weren't cast, they would have been in trouble.
Yeah, they
There's
did have more than in the book. It didn't, the whole thing didn't, when we were just talking about Arrival, I was like, I always defend a romance plot, but this was one that I do get it, like, it makes a lot of sense, but it was like, it was kind of hard for me to, like, accept it, because I'm like, you literally just met each other, and sometimes that makes sense, but in this case, I'm like, it's not that you just met each other, it's like, you don't, like, I don't know. It made sense, but it didn't, I think, to me.
Yeah. And I don't think that that's a bad thing because, like, again, the story is like about this sociopath who's like actually just in love with her for like the things that she can give him and like the way
Yeah.
that she can make him more successful. And then like she is in love with him probably mostly out of like a survival instinct because like she thinks she's about to die. And
Yeah.
then, yeah. And he's really good at acting like he's normal.
yes, yeah.
I'd say in the books, he definitely seemed a lot more normal.
In the
Like,
book,
yeah, I mean, because, like, it almost gave too much of his monologue because, and I didn't realize, were they all written in third person?
I think so.
I can't fucking stand a third person book. Sometimes I can. For this one, I was like, I just hate when it's like third person, but it's like omniscient. It's like,
Yeah.
gets all into his feelings. I'm like, then why not? I'd rather him just tell me that himself. So it was hard for me to even be like, feel like, but like, yeah. What was I saying before? Oh, that he just seemed like much, like, it was just so like nuanced. Every single thing he did, it was like, let's really explore in depth like the morality of this. And I was like, leave a little something to be desired. But it also is a book for 12-year-olds, so
True.
that was like I thought it was gonna be fun reading it. I really like could not stand it. Not could
I
not.
I, I liked it, to be honest.
That's a stretch. Like I didn't. It's I couldn't. I could stand it. Like,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like I was not really interested in it. I did not really want to know more. Um, but I think if I read the first, like, I just think it's a writing style that like is not something that like. Well, I guess that's interesting because like you don't really read books from your childhood other than like picture books. I mean, maybe you do, but like I watch like movies from my childhood. I'm like also nostalgic shows, but like a book that I read when I was like 11, I would read it now. I don't think it would hit, and other pieces of media would. So I think for me, the books were not. It was not for me.
Okay. I feel like that's fair. Like it was made for 12-year-olds and like I felt that sometimes when I was reading it. I was like, this is okay. Like I don't know. And it's also hard to like read or even watch like a prequel when you know what's gonna happen. Like you don't know how it happens and like you don't know like the ending of the book, but like you know that Snow is crazy already and you know that like Lucy and him don't end up together and like like you know some of the stuff that's gonna happen, so it's a little bit harder to get invested. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
But back to the movie. Um I thought it was fun and like I kind of feel the same way about the movie that I do about the book. Like I thought it was fun and like cool, but it didn't hit as much as like Hunger Games, the
Yeah.
original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I kind of agree with what Ella said before about how, if I were to go back, I mean, I haven't gone back and read it, so I can't really say for sure, but if I think I were to go back and read it now, it would not hit the same. And the movies, I rewatched the first two recently, and they were really, I was like, oh, I didn't remember them being like this
Mm-hmm.
good. Well, I do, but I didn't expect them to hold up as well. Um, but I still was like, it's not the best. Well, that's not true. Anyways, I think that the reason it wouldn't hit as hard, is because these are no longer new ideas to me. Because I think that, like, reading The Hunger Games was, like, the first experience I had learning about, like, totalitarianism. Even though I didn't know that at the time, and, like, things like that, and, like, oppression. And now when I'm watching the movie, I'm like, oh my god, this is so, like, especially in this Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and they put the tributes in a zoo. I'm like, oh, this is so like black and white, but whatever. But I mean, like, I think if you're 12 years old and you're seeing that, you're like, oh, this is like and as you get older, like, this is a metaphor for this, and like, whatever. I think you come to appreciate it that way. But I do agree that if I went back now, I'd be like, come on, like,
Yeah.
so obvious, but. Yeah, like kind of. I don't know how any of your thoughts on the Barbie movie, but it was kind of like that. Where if I saw that when I was 12 years old, I would have been like,
Yeah, exactly.
Jaws on
but
the floor.
as a 21-year-old, I was like, it's a little insulting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, a
definitely
little
would.
insulting.
Yeah, yeah,
That's like a perfect way to put it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I definitely would have to go back and give another try.
Yeah. I agree. Like, I just think it lends itself so well to like visuals. The Hunger Games does.
Hmm.
And like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't even remember reading them the first time. I know I was into them because I was and I read them all. Um, but I just think it's one of those things that just works better as a movie.
Yeah, I agree. Um,
Yeah,
what was I
especially
about
with the first one. A lot of the like artistic direction and like editing choices that they made, like, really aided in telling the story for sure.
Hmm.
I wish they kind of stuck with that in the other. Well, I haven't seen the Mockingjay movies in a while, so I can't really say that. But yeah, yeah. And I
Was the
think
first one, is that your favorite?
I don't know. I don't know. I really like Catching Fire, but I think I like the first one. Maybe just because of like the way they made the movie. I don't think it was pretty like big, so I don't think it would be considered like indie. But like think it had more of that like style and like the way it was shot, and
It was so shaky.
that's kind of why I liked it.
Actually, no, it was so we were watching it and we were like, I think it was we were watching on YouTube, first of all, like so I think it actually was something with like it looked like it was in stop motion, which I don't think was the movie, but the movie was definitely like shaky, which was like I was like I did not remember it looking this like handheld like
Yeah, a lot of it looked
documentary-ish.
very handheld. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of why, I don't know,
It was cool, yeah.
I liked it. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
and
remember it being a lot more blockbuster than it actually was. At least
yeah,
the first one, but it was cool.
the second one definitely was
Second
more.
one was, yeah.
Well, this movie, one shot that I like really loved was when they first entered the arena and like they go to the cornucopia or whatever, and like Rachel Zegler's like she's like dodging things.
Yes! Oh my god. That stunt choreography must have taken so long to learn.
Yeah. Another like movie element that I liked in this story was the set design because in the
Mhm.
Capitol, in the Academy, like all the classrooms looked so cool, and there was like those giant statues, and it was just like that part was really cool because we didn't see that in the Hunger Games trilogy because you're not in the Capitol in the Hunger Games trilogy. But I wish they would have explored like Capitol, like the way the houses look and the apartments and stuff like that a little bit more. But the way that the Academy looked was really cool.
Yeah,
And then
this line, ugh, gorgeous.
yeah, and then Dr. Gall, like everything, like her costuming was so good with like the gloves that looked like blood and like her one eye is blue and like her hair is like really cool and her like everything is just really good about her. And then her lab was really cool too. Like I don't know.
Yeah. She was so scary.
Yeah.
She
So
was.
freaky. She did a great job.
And
Yeah,
I
I think she
think
was the best. She was like the best performance.
I agree, I
Most
think.
interesting. I don't know. What interesting
I
character.
feel like she's the only one who had like the Hunger Games, like, ah, not the only
Yeah.
one.
Like a freaking
Like,
weirdo. She
yeah.
had a cool voice. I feel like everyone but her, Rachel Zegler, and somebody else. Oh, and Peter Dinklage. Everyone except for them should have been speaking with mid-Atlantic accents. I think that would have worked really well. I don't know why.
Well,
Maybe because it was supposed to be like back then.
Lucky Flickerman was talking like that, right? Like the reporter guy.
Ugh,
Yeah,
Lucky.
It was good too.
that's why I love that.
Oh, I was gonna say like I didn't like Lucky because it was just like Caesar light, and it's like I think they should have just made him a completely different personality.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like they were trying too hard to make the audience laugh and take like cheap jokes and like whatever.
Yeah, I do like that he was a flickerman. Like that tickled me. That he was like that he was like his great great grandpa. Because like they just kept doing it and they just kept getting like more and more outlandish. But yeah, like because like it was just one of those things where every time he came on, I was like, I need Stanley Tucci. Like I need water, and I was just like squint and pretend it's him. I will
Yeah.
say the set design that was really cool is it's like it was so like it was like olden days futuristic, which like always made me laugh about the book. It's like, okay, why is it like the 50s, but it's like in the future? Like
Yeah,
it's so funny.
that got me
Yeah.
too.
But it makes sense because they're both post-war
It
time.
does. No, it does.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
John Stanley Tucci, I love him. I literally, when I was watching Catching Fire with my sister, I like stood up and cheered when he came up on screen. I love him so much. He did.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Oh, the music. It was I wish they had a fun theme. Did they?
Yes. I don't know.
I don't know. Or like they did. I wish they incorporated that one, like the Panam.
Yeah.
Yeah, do.
Yeah, yeah.
That none of that, but none of those notes, but that do. Oh, it's just such a. It's chilling, and I just like needed to hear that the whole time.
okay, but Rachel Zegler's Hanging Tree, like, gagged, absolutely gagged.
Yeah, all of her
Literally
music was great.
fucking I literally would be so triggered. If that were me, if the bitch I thought I fucking murdered comes back singing the song that my fucking ex oomph with benefits wrote about us, literally our exact situation, I would be so fucking triggered. I would actually be pissed. You know that hurt. You
Yeah.
know that hurt so bad.
Ex Yeah, no. Oh,
And then
yeah.
like for
Even
she
when
did
I
it
watch,
back for the express purpose of like destroying his government.
yeah. Also, like the Mockingjay, how that's like not really her thing, but like there's a lot of moments in it where like there's Mockingjays and he's like, "What the fuck is that?" And then like, and then like, Katniss brings that back and like
She brought
his
it back in a huge way.
like crazy, and his granddaughter with the braid. Oh, well, that doesn't really have to do with this, but yeah, I just had to throw it out there.
Yeah, I remember that. He's like, oh, she's like, all the girls at school wear it. Like, what?
Yeah. I'm really in a place of I didn't realize they were eating corn. Trying to like come up with it. Do you know what that?
I didn't realize she was holding a plate of corn in this.
Yeah, I didn't realize she was holding it like that. Trying to come up with.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I was obsessed with the part where they were like, they're swamp potatoes, also known as Katniss.
That was
Yeah.
everything.
That was everything. It kind
That
of gave Oppenheimer when they were like Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, when they did
Wanna know
that.
something? And the something is that I've not seen Oppenheimer yet. It
That's
got
okay.
away
I
from
haven't seen a
me.
lot of movies.
It's Grace's fault.
Excuse me?
And not to air it out.
Clear the air. Clear the air right now.
Because we were gonna see it when you came to Pittsburgh, so I didn't see it before I left. But it's
Okay.
okay, Grace. There's literally no bad blood. I just felt like clearing the air.
I feel like there might be some bad blood in
I
there.
just know. I mean, like I could have seen it. I could have I could have worked my way into.
You had many months.
I did have many months. It was just like hard
That's okay.
because
And
I have a way to get to the theater, and like it was hard to coordinate with someone when you can find a 3-hour block together.
excuses, excuses.
I know,
mean,
and I know. Ooh, this is so unrelated. I just burped and I tasted. I think if I tasted banana. The last time I had banana was 2 nights ago in this drink, and it was and it was my bad. Why do you look so confused?
because it's 2 days later.
Then it probably wasn't. It was probably a phantom whiff.
Oh, okay.
But it was and it was my fault for ordering this. Like I should have not done that. But it was like Irish whiskey, and the whole time I got it because I love Irish cream, and I was like, oh, because we were at a Christmas bar, and I was like, if I see something with Irish cream, I'm ordering it. I only saw the word Irish. I didn't read the rest of it, and it was whiskey, not cream. Irish whiskey, and then like banana liqueur, and then like Jamaican rum, and then like chocolate, and then like nutmeg, and then like cocoa powder, and then like I don't know, like agave could have been in there, and then like bananas on top, like bananas.
I don't know. I kind of love bananas. Like that sounds good.
It was something. I mean, I kind of liked it, but in a way that I really
Stomach
had
acid.
to convince myself that. Like, I liked it in the sense that it's the story I told to myself.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Maybe your stomach acid and you burped it just tasted like bananas.
That's true. You never know. You never know where the banana comes from.
You literally never know. Like, I love banana.
I love
I
banana.
love banana.
I hate apple.
Apple.
I hate apple. I love banana. Differences between the book and the movie. Plenty.
It's
Yes.
okay. That doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah. For the most part, I didn't really care, but there was the one aspect that I actually was like, they should have put that in the movie, was that the 10th Hunger Games is like erased. Like Dr. Gall like erases
Yeah.
from Panem, like doesn't sell any copies of it or whatever. So like nobody knows who Lucy Gray is, like all that. Like they should have put that in the movie.
Yeah, I was so confused because I was like, ain't the whole thing with Catching Fire that there's only been one, like, female winner? Where's Lucy?
Well, Lucy is in the north. Lucy is away.
Yeah, but
Or
she's in District 12. Well, disputed. But, like, I mean, she was technically a winner from District 12, and I was like, why did they never bring that up in Catching Fire? And that was why, but I didn't realize that either.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good. Very nice. Ooh, Dr. Gall is so creepy. Every time I think about her, I'm like, "Ugh." Which is great on Viola Davis's part.
Shivers.
hmm Um, I saw this theory that like the fish or whatever, like the water creature at the very end of the movie in Dr. Gall's lab is like gonna be used for the next Hunger Games, like the 11th Hunger Games, which is the one that Mags wins, the one from District 4, who's from the fishing district, so like she would be a strong swimmer and like that's how she survived, like that mutant.
Hmm.
Whoa. That adds up.
Like an
That does,
interesting universe. Like, I want more.
yeah. Ugh. I want more and I want a star in all of them. So let's make that happen.
I feel like we could. I think they'll probably make more. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like the kind of thing that's like they're gonna make them and they're gonna start getting really bad. But you're gonna save them. You will save them, Grace. Rest assured, we'll get you there.
Okay, thank you.
Like Hannah's like not long lost. Her like daughter like all grown up.
Okay, that sounds good.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah, totally, totally, girl. No. It was.
I watched a video by somebody named I forgot her name. Um the book Leo, and it was a really good video. She was just talking about like the movie and the book, and she was kind of explaining the different philosophies of each of the characters, or like the most prominent ones, and it was based off of the epigraph of the book that had all these different quotes from different philosophers, except for one was from Mary Shelley. I don't actually she wrote Frankenstein. I don't think she was a philosopher, right, at any point. I
Yeah.
have no idea. So the one from Frankenstein that Suzanne Collins put was, I thought of the promise of virtues which he had displayed on the opening of his existence, and the subsequent blight of all kindly feelings, by the loathing and scorn of which his protectors had manifested him. Um, and the person in the video was basically like, this is kind of Suzanne Collins, saying that snow is shaped by the world, or like, and that's what made him evil. But and I was like thinking about that, and I'm like, well, that's kind of a stupid excuse for like someone being a fascist. But I think that oh, they also listed a quote from Suzanne Collins that said, "You still need to leave room for Snow's personality. Is he a product of nature or nurture? Everyone of his generation experienced trauma, loss, and deprivation. And it's Sejanus, Tigress, Lucy Gray, and Lysistrata. Who the fuck is that?"
Just one of the other uh capital kids, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, they all turned out very differently. I don't know what that adds to the conversation, but I thought that was
Yeah.
interesting that and then the rest of them were just like about philosophy. Like one was about how humans have like natural human rights, and it was a quote from Locke.
Oh wait, I
One
think
was
I
from
have
Hobbes.
the epigraph right here. Hereby it is manifest that during the time oh my God, let me read it. During the time men live without a common power to keep them all in awe, they are in that condition which is called war. And such a war as is of, wait, this is not the one that,
No, but that's actually the one I wanted.
that was Hobbes, not Locke, excuse me. The state of nature has a law of nature to govern it, which obliges everyone, and reason, which is that law, teaches all mankind who will but consult it, that being all equal and independent, no one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty, or possessions. Period.
Period.
That was the person in the video kind of assigned that philosophy to Sejanus, and then the one from Hobbes saying that like men are in this state of war to Gaul and Snow.
Mm-hmm.
Because the person in the video was also saying that like everything he did, like everything bad he saw was like, well, this is just human nature, and just completely ignored like all of the conditions of everything. And that's something I was thinking about while watching the movie, when Gaul was like, the point of these games is to show like humanity stripped down to its core, is like we're all savage, we're prey and predator. But I was saying like, this, you have created specific conditions for this though. Like the specific rules of the games that you have to kill everyone and be the last one. Like it's not like
Yeah.
just made that up.
You just made that up.
Made that up.
And the fact that Snow like subscribes to that like line of thinking. It was a really great video. I sent it to Grace. I can send it in the group chat that you made because she was just talking about how it sort of went back to the Enlightenment period of how they were all like, well, we're not going to look at different world governments. We're going to look at human nature and the way people are and
Yeah.
ruling based on that. And you can see that with Snow, when it becomes like the leader of 10M, he genuinely believes that like they need the capital or everyone's just going to go nuts, which I guess is something which makes sense, I guess, from the opening scene in the movie when he sees someone get cannibalized because of whatever. But then again, those were specific conditions created by whatever.
Yeah.
So I love that all that philosophy is worked into a book for like children, basically.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no, I love that it's like kind of like our generation's like what's the word? Like series. Like, you know what I mean?
Starts with an O, right? It's like the occult, like whatever of
Anthology.
I don't know. Not serious. Oh, it's annoying me so much. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But I like that it's like it's to Gen Z what like Harry Potter is to millennials. Which is like, I mean, as long as we don't get like really annoying about it. But like I'm proud.
Yes.
What was that thing when they're like, we are the generation of Katniss Everdeen, the girl on fire? Like, if you think we're lying down, you're dead wrong.
Honestly, like, true.
That was like Gen Z, like political revolution. It was like we grew up reading the Hunger Games, and then the first song was "You Need to Calm Down" by Taylor Swift. That was a rich text.
Love that playlist.
Okay, well, we have less than a minute left in this meeting.
It's probably gonna cut off mid-sentence.
Yeah. So then we should just keep talking until it does that.
I agree.
Okay.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.